Hello everyone, so today I'll be looking at normal distribution, positive and negative skews, and I've included your AQA specification point distributions, normal and skewed distributions, characteristics of skewed distributions. So these are all the things you need to know, and students sometimes get confused between which is positive, which is negative. So I'm going to give you some tips and hints of how to remember that. So if we look at your normal distribution, this is where it is even, so it's symmetrical. You have 50% of scores or data, whatever you're doing. So you may have conducted a test and 50% of scores are on the left-hand side and 50% of the scores are on the right-hand side. You can also think of a normal distribution in terms of IQ. So we know that the mean, mode and median for IQ is 100. It sits right bang in that middle point. They are all the same, those particular measures of central tendency. So if you look, it is a bell-shaped curve, and that highest peak, so if it was the score of 100 for IQ, it represents the mode, median and mean, and it can also be called no skew. So there's no skew to this, it's not leaning to the left or the right, it is a normal distribution. If we have a look at your positive skew, you can see it is not symmetrical. So you have your mode, which is the highest point, median, which is in the middle, and then your mean is the lower point, as shown on the schematic on the left-hand side. Now, a way that I would know that this is a positive skew is by drawing a house on the right-hand side where the x-axis is, because that long tail is going down towards the home, so it's like you're happy because you're getting closer to home. Or you can see it as that long tail is going into more positive numbers, higher positive numbers, so it is a positive skew. So if you look, most of the distribution is on the left-hand side. You can see that the highest point is on the left. So if you think of an example, you would see this positive skew if a test was hard, because most of the data is clustered to that left, meaning most people got low scores. So if you think at the bottom, it was scores on a test, the majority are getting a low score, and the long tail is to the right. If you look at the negative skew, you can see that I've got a house on that x-axis still, and this time it's negative because the long tail is going away from that house, so you're getting further away from home. So that's one way to remember it. Or you could think of that tail as going into negative numbers, and so it's negative. You can see that your mode, median and mean follows the same pattern as what it was doing on a positive skew, with the mode being the highest point, the median sitting in between, and then the mean being lower. You can see that it is not symmetrical. These are the characteristics that the specification point wants you to know, and also that most of the distribution is on the right-hand side. So if you think of an example, you would say a negative skew if a test was easy, because most of that data is clustered to the right. The majority of people have got a high score on a test, so it is easy, it's clustered to the right, and that long tail is to the left. Thank you for listening. I hope that has helped you. Best of luck with your revision.